I am Laura DuBois, and I run the Data Protection Product Management Organization. And I'm pleased to be here today with two esteemed colleagues. And the three of us are going to cover three things today. So first off, I'm going to give a little context for where we're going directionally across the data protection portfolio. And then Darren Niller is going to deep dive into specifically PowerProtect Data Manager. We launched PowerProtect Data Manager last year, and we're super excited to give you the latest and greatest overview of what that product is. And then Duncan Ramjas is going to dive even deeper into a product demo, and there'll be opportunities along the way for questions as well. So we're really going to spend the next 90 minutes with all of you walking through that sequence of content, and look forward to the discussion. So thanks so much. So really, if we move to the next slide, there's three key objectives that we wanted to set out to deliver with our portfolio. So first off, we want to continue the innovation that we really released last year, but over, of course, many years, but we made three major announcements last year. We want to continue that innovation going forward. So first off, for those of you who aren't familiar, we launched our next generation of data domain in September of last year, doubling the capacity, the performance, the scalability of our industry-leading target-based deduplication appliances. PowerProtect Data Manager. So we launched PowerProtect Data Manager as our new modern data protection and data management stack, a common platform upon which to drive the ability to protect workloads in the estate, as well as existing new workloads coming online, whether it be cloud native workloads, Kubernetes environments, virtualization, SaaS data, et cetera. And then we also took that same software stack, PowerProtect Data Manager, and we're delivering that as a scale-out integrated appliance in the form of PowerProtect X400 appliance. So three major announcements that we delivered last year. But we want to continue that innovation going forward. The second key thing is around accelerating our investments and our innovation around our integrated data protection appliance, or IDPA. You can expect a series of announcements over the next 12 months around this. And this is our established integrated data protection appliance for scale-up environments for both proven and modern workload environments. And lastly, we want to be able to continue to support the breadth of capabilities we have across our data protection suite. We really believe that we have a series of advantages across our data protection suite, both in terms of the scope of the application, the hypervisor, and the operating environment coverage, in terms of performance and scalability. I'll share some statistics around that. And then the fact that it's very proven and hardened, right? We have tens of thousands of customers running our data protection suite capabilities. So just to highlight on the portfolio, integrated, target, and modern and proven data protection software. Now, as we move to the next slide,
excuse me,
we do believe. Yes, please. Question, yes.
Can you also reuse the old name? So data protection suite is Networker, no?
Yes, great question. Yes, so data protection suite.
With all this power thing that is happening, I'm losing control.
No problem. So it's a great question, Enrico. So data protection suite includes our Networker product. It also includes Avamar. It includes Data Protection Advisor, which is a heterogeneous reporting and monitoring capability. It includes Data Protection Central, which is a centralized orchestration and management across our portfolio. And it also includes Data Protection Search. So it's actually more than Networker. It drives a lot of innovation for our customers. Does that answer your question, or can I follow up with anything there?
Yeah, enough. Yes, thank you very much.
Hey, Laura,
sure,
just one more thing. It also has PowerProtect Data Manager as part of that suite as well.
Yes, very good point. Yep. So it also includes our modern offering, PowerProtect Data Manager. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So we believe we have a unique position relative to our portfolio, in that we have a portfolio that has a series of proven capabilities, proven over thousands of customers, proven over millions of backup jobs across tens of thousands of environments. So when you think about the proven aspects of our portfolio, first off, scale and performance, right? So we have customers that, today it's very standard practice to generate backup environments that are millions of backup jobs a day. We have customers that are in the 50 to 100,000 clients and going to 250,000 clients. So just the level of scale and performance that we can deliver. In terms of automation, so I think everyone on this phone and around the world understands that really we're moving to an API-driven environment in the data center infrastructure space. All of our products have published in public APIs. And of course, customers are using these APIs to integrate with their existing stacks, like vRealize stack, with ServiceNow, with their own catalogs and tools that they've built. So automation is a key aspect of customers' environments today. Simplicity. So what customers want is the ability to eliminate many tools and to have a very simple management construct and management control plane that allows them to abstract away the complexity of the underlying infrastructure. And lastly is around economics and the efficiency that we get, for example, with our industry-leading DDoS deduplication algorithms, right? So really strong attributes in our portfolio around proven. Now, when you think about modern and what customers want in their environments going forward, they have new workloads that they're standing up, right? Those could be Kubernetes environments, right? So they've built either refactored or built from scratch applications that are running in microservices, that are horizontally scalable, that are containerized, and they have persistence requirements for those Kubernetes orchestration environments around containers. Right, so Kubernetes is probably one of the top things that we get requests from customers going forward. But they're also moving into a hybrid world, right? They've got data on premise, they've got data in the cloud. How do you provide a single orchestration for protecting data regardless of where it lives, including protecting SaaS data, right? So that could be Office 365, it could be Salesforce.com. So these new workloads, these new environments, the location, the change in location of where data persists is one aspect of modern expectations customers have around modern. Another expectation is around the autonomy of data protection, right? Customers want to be able to have the system manage itself. Things like automating creation of protection policies versus doing that manually. Things like pooling and management and automated placement of data across a series of assets. So these are examples of ways in which customers expect the system to sort of manage itself. Now, in terms of services, people want to do more than just send data for the purposes of in case they might need it from logical or physical, events, right? Logical corruption, user error, et cetera. They want to do more with their data, right? And so that's where things like copy reuse come in, right? So they want to mount their backups for DR testing. They want to leverage data for test and dev purposes. They want to leverage it for recovery from cyber resiliency attacks. We're going to double click on cyber in Darren's session. And so there's a number of use cases where customers want to be able to reuse their data for a variety of different use cases, leveraging backup data. And then lastly is, as applications get refactored and become more of a cloud native environment, you've got new types of database schemas coming into the mix that are common in these cases, like Cassandra or Mongo. You've got a Kubernetes clusters and namespaces and pods that you need to protect. And how do you ensure that you're actually protecting and being able to recover the entire application and in fact, recovering the entire business service that's exposed right through that application, right? So a series of things that customers expect as they think about, okay, how do I go from running my estate today and running it very effectively, efficiently, economically, while I'm building for the future, right? And so we think modern and proven are two essential elements in the portfolio that we find most customers need to deal with, and we feel like we have an advantage across both. So we'll move into the next slide. We can think about kind of what's some more detail under each one of these. And again, we're well positioned for environments where we have tens of thousands of data domain customers. We've got customers in current estates that expect the improvements around usability, improvements around management, improvements around economics. So not just economics in terms of the storage footprint, but power, cooling, rack space savings, capabilities around security, so be able to recover from a ransomware attack, right? And then on the other side of the equation is, okay, if I'm going to run my bank with Proven, I need to build my bank for innovation, right? And so what's the kind of innovation that we can deliver that's going to help customers as they're building out their modern or next generation environments? So clearly one aspect we see is, an SDDC stack, right? So customers want to be able to have the flexibility of deploying that software in a variety of different form factors, whether that's in the cloud, whether that's on-premise on industry standard components, whether that's packaged and procured as an appliance, so self-service is part of that, right? So the ability for us to provide programmatic APIs that can integrate with either existing catalogs or provide self-service capabilities for personas like DBAs or VI admins or Kubernetes admins, right? So a variety of different personas, CISOs or security professionals that are getting involved in ransomware recovery. So a variety of different personas that we need to provide self-service to. So it's no longer just the backup admin or the storage admin, but different personas that are taking more responsibility for different types of data management tasks. And the ability to protect data that exists in SaaS applications, and to provide a common management and control plane for data across different locations. Some customers want scale up. Some customers want scale out. Some customers want disk. Some customers want flash. Some customers want hybrid. It's really going to depend on the environment. We have a number of capabilities around our modern environment. So we have an initiative around global scale. You'll hear some announcements from us in the next 18 months around our global scale initiative, but it's basically the ability to manage many environments and customers' deduplication pools at scale, with the ability to optimize data placement across different, an estate or a fleet of data domain environments, and be able to optimize the initial placement as well as the ongoing performance and capacity over time.
Laura, sorry, I have a question.
Sure.
I'm missing something here, because in the first slide you showed different products, some software, some hardware, some was not clear, and now you're talking about a unified experience. And how can it happen? I mean, you talked about networker, Avamar, power networker, power Avamar. I'm still confused about the name. But so is all of this a single product now with a unified management interface? I don't see anything in the backend, because what I'm missing is, where is the unified experience with all the roles?
Yeah.
I would like to see a single user interface with a role-based access management, so that my developer has access to the cluster, the Kubernetes cluster, while others are managing Office 365, and there is a top administrator that does, a little bit of everything if necessary, and reporting from the same interface for all my business guys and whatever, and all managed as a whole. Okay, but
sure.
I don't see the link between the two.
And I think that'll become clear when we actually jump into the following details on the following slides. But just to get to the net of your question, so modern is our PowerProtect Data Manager software stack. It's a single software code base and a single software stack that delivers, all of the modern capabilities. And can be delivered as in a software delivery. It can also be delivered as an appliance through the PowerProtect X400. So modern, the modern box here talks about our PowerProtect Data Manager, which is a common user experience, a common management plane, and a common set of capabilities. Now, we would be foolish to just completely walk away from all of our customers that are running Networker or Avamar, for example. And so we also have a common management experience for those customers as well. And so the common experience for those customers is called Data Protection Central. So again, it's a common control plane for managing, your Networker environment and your Avamar environment, and it also reports and manages the PowerProtect Data Manager environment. So if you're an existing customer, you can use Data Protection Central, and you'll get visibility into both proven and modern. If you're a modern customer only, you can get visibility through PowerProtect Data Manager. Does that answer your question?
So you are building two silos anyway.
No, we're building a stack for the future in PowerProtect Data Manager, and we have a bridge and a control plane across that in Data Protection Central. If you have both, a proven and a modern.
A single repository for all my backups. I mean, a virtual repository where I put all my backups, so that when you talk about data management, I think at least at global scale, I think at least I can search everything.
Yeah, sure. So it's a great question.
Working, converging, in this new modern environment somehow, or are they separated at some extent?
Yeah, so it depends on what you mean by separated. So we have a common repository in data domain that onboards and ingests Networker backups, Avamar backups, PowerProtect Data Manager backups. So that's a common repository.
Yes, so,
if you're asking about a common catalog, no, each backup product has its own catalog.
Okay, okay, I understand.
Okay.
So Laura, maybe I want to highlight something that you had said, because I thought it just really captured, I think you used a bank as an example, right? They need to continue to run their IT operations as they have been on a daily basis. And when we've talked to customers like that, what we've heard from them is they have an existing data protection infrastructure in Networker and Avamar and those other components in the data protection suite. And they're not necessarily ready on day one when we announce PowerProtect to be able to rip all that out and then move over. What they expect is over time is to, one, with new modern workloads, protect that with PowerProtect, and then slowly move over, slowly transition their Networker and Avamar environments over time to PowerProtect, especially as we start supporting those workloads and some of those capabilities. And that bridge that Laura mentioned is Data Protection Central. So that allows them that single pane of glass. They provide some visibility across both the proven environment as well as the modern environment. So yeah, they're running on proven, but they're building on modern. And I think that's a great way to
well said.
That.
Yeah, I think that's well said. Yeah. I mean, listen, you're not going to take out, your existing environment, and you're going to typically customers are going to add to that, right? As they add modern workloads, they're going to look to kind of what's the right solution for those modern workloads, right? And so it's a matter of how you bridge between running the bank and building the bank, right? And we're trying to satisfy both. And we have a unique position, a unique opportunity, comparatively to others, right? So how do we serve both? So one thing that we find is that as customers are making this transition, they are looking at how can they transition their own IT processes from one that's more sort of project-based and, typically waterfall to something that's much more agile, where they can fail fast. How are they going to explore new initiatives around continuous innovation and continuous delivery, right? Especially as it relates to new applications they're developing and accelerating their innovation timeline. And so, we are doing the same, right? So over the last 24 months, we've really driven a transition from what have been, long phase development cycles typically known as waterfall, to Scrum and Scrum at scale. And so really this has changed how we build products. It's changed how we integrate or interact with customers. So we interact with customers as design partners. We interact with customers as design partners over a series of intersection points. It's changed how we deliver products, so changing from more of a CapEx model to an OpEx model. It's changed how we deliver products, moving from, say, a 9-month or 12-month release cadence to a quarterly release cadence. So for PowerProtect, as well as data domain or DDoS, we deliver on a 3-month release cadence, right? And so why are we doing that? We're delivering that to get value and innovation out to customers more quickly. And we're also doing that to be able to shift to changes in the market and customer needs.
So quick
right?
question.
So,
I have a quick question because I'm confused now, because you said PowerProtect along with data domain as products, and I thought PowerProtect was the overarching name for the portfolio. Is that incorrect?
Yeah, so PowerProtect Data Manager is our modern application. PowerProtect X400 takes that software and delivers it as an appliance. And then Data Domain was rebranded to be PowerProtect Data Domain. So we're using PowerProtect in 3 different ways. One is for our target-based deployments. But the portfolio is PowerProtect. Yeah.
Okay.
So just to revisit, I can just recap that again. PowerProtect Data Manager is our modern data management software stack. You take that software and you deliver it as an appliance in the form of PowerProtect X400 as an integrated scale-out. And then PowerProtect Data Domain is our target-based, data domain systems that you know and love.
Okay.
I understand that you're saying Dell Tech and VMware, but what does that mean for other solutions? Under innovation, you say Dell Tech and VMware, but I guess you've got innovations going on with other solutions as well.
Yeah, so it's a great question. So we are looking at doing some unique integrations with our own storage arrays, whether that be Isilon, whether that be PowerStore, whether that be PowerMax, right? So looking at integrations that are going to give us together a better story for customers around how they can protect at scale environments that are, say, PowerMax environments. So we have a capability called Storage Direct that ships snapshots from PowerMax arrays to data domain. That's one example. We're looking at some things that we're going to be announcing around protecting Isilon data at scale. We're also doing a series of initiatives with VMware, and you can look for, say, the second half of this year for some initiatives around addressing customers' pain points around the VM stun problem, right? So when you're snapshotting VMs, there's typically a stun or performance penalty that you see when you're taking that snapshot. So looking at some innovative ways that are going to be unique to our relationship with VMware, at least initially, around protecting VMs. So those are some examples of integration and innovations that will be unique to our portfolio. Does that answer your question or give you some examples of what we mean there?
Yeah, but is it only bound to Dell Tech and VMware, or is it bound to, let's say, a Microsoft, maybe some cloud initiatives, like other stuff as well?
Sure. So we have Hyper-V support today, so we have other hypervisors that we support. We have support for AWS and Azure. So depending on sort of the use case, we support an open ecosystem. It's not unique to just Dell Tech. I can see why you might infer from the slide that maybe that was the case, but no, we support. It depends on the use case. So, like, for example, DD Cloud Tier supports all the major hyperscalers, right? Most of our software runs in the leading hyperscalers. PowerProtect Data Manager, we're going to be releasing AWS support. We'll be rolling out others. So depending on the use case, but it's definitely open to beyond just VMware in terms of hypervisors and beyond just VMware in terms of cloud, for example. Yeah, and other storage arrays too, right? So storage underneath the VM, right? The data store could be hosted on other arrays. Does not have to be Dell.